Greetings. Hope you're doing all well. I'm Dr. Bahia Diefenbach, an English language specialist with the English language programs, working at the Uzbekistan Scientific Practical Innovation Center. Today, we'll be exploring the use of articles, punctuation, and using uppercase, which is capital, versus lowercase letters in English writing. It is very important to apply these parts of speech accurately. The use of one punctuation mark or another, you know very well it will change the whole meaning of a sentence. The same is for articles. Where to use them, how to use them, and which article to use. For this presentation, again, I will be removing my video picture because that way you will be able to see the whole slide. So let's go ahead and start. Okay, let's play Jeopardy. And the show, I don't know if you're familiar with the show. The show is a quiz competition in which contestants are presented with general knowledge clues in the form of answers. And you must phrase the response in the form of a question. Now, my version, and first thing I'm going to ask you to please go ahead, get your paper and pencil, because my version will not look exactly, in fact, the same, but the concept of the game is the same. In other words, you have to figure out the question based on the clue. So let's go ahead, and here's my variation of the Jeopardy game. For every correct answer in you get the corresponding score. So go ahead, get your paper and pencil ready, and let's start playing. So today we're gonna do the complete or incomplete section. So let me give you just an example. It says, I have a headache. So what will be my answer? The question here, which was the answer of the sentence to complete, it is, what is A? Because it is, I have a headache. So what is A? That will be my answer. If you get it right, you give yourself the score 1. So go ahead now and get the answers for the next. Okay. All right. So, did you get the answers? Let's see. For the first one, what is A? So if you get it right, go ahead and give yourself a score of 1. The next one, what is blank or space? Because what you say is, I like rock music. There's nothing here. Third one, for dinner, I had a hamburger and a coffee. So your answer is, what is A? I had quiet an experience. What is N? Now here, Florida, so what is blank? This blank is a state to the east of Alabama. No need for the article. So it is what is blank, what is A, what is the, and what is another blank, blank or space or nothing. Okay, give yourself the score here based on the ones you got correct. Good job. Now, I would like you to look at these pictures. If you see, they contain countable and uncountable nouns. What do I mean by that? Here are some examples of food. Countable food. Carrots, tomato, I can count how many. Cherries, peas. Uncountable, butter, pasta, coffee, tea, flour, etc. Now I would like you to look at this picture here and find out from this picture what are the countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Okay, countable nouns, for example, the trees. Uncountable nouns, sand, water, air. Okay. Countable or uncountable nouns. And it's going to affect what we use the article, what article do we use and or we don't use. In this one, I would like a milk. Milk is uncountable. So then we do not use an article with it. So it will be, I would like milk. Let's look at the next one. All right, is this correct? Use your pencil and paper if you want to write it down correctly. Sam is an author because when the noun starts with a vowel, we use an, not a. And then he writes books. We don't know specifically what book it is. It is general term here. So he writes books. What about this sentence? Okay. Music is uncountable. So, do you like pop music? No need for the. And notice, since it's a question, we use a question mark. Do you like now? How come now we put the and it's music? Well, we're putting the because it is a specific type of music that we are referring to. So therefore, the 90s, I'm specifying what it is. The 90s pop music. How about this one? Okay, it is correct. I would like a piece of cake. There is nothing wrong with it. It is one piece of cake, so I use a. There are some indefinite articles, a, an, definite articles, the, and there are some pronouns and determiners that we also use, some and any. So this is what we will be discussing today. Let's go ahead and find these missing words. So let's see, did you get them? I ate in a Chinese restaurant. I don't know what restaurant it is, so it is just general Chinese restaurant. Now, the restaurant, the, because I'm referring to specific one, was very good. I have some time. Would you like some tea? I don't have any tea. Is there any coffee left? So why are we using them this way? Why don't I say here I have a time or I have the time, etc., etc.? What would help me identify when to use a, the, some, or any? Here we go. First of all, we have to think Is it countable noun or uncountable noun? That's the first thing you have to look at. So one thing is we use a or an with singular countable nouns. When we can count that noun, and it is singular, we use a or an. Now we use some when we have uncountable or countable nouns. It doesn't matter, but when it is plural nouns. So with plural nouns, we can use some. Now, when do we use some or when do we use any? Okay, well, here it is. When I have a positive sentence, for example, I have some time. And when it is an offer, would you like some tea? So in this case, it is these, if you notice, it's uncountable noun. So then I use some. Now, when do I use any? Again, plural, same thing. Uncountable or countable nouns. But when it is a negative sentence, that's when I use any. For example, I don't have any tea. I don't say I don't have some tea. I just say it's, in this case, you use any. I don't have any tea. And when we have a general question, is there any coffee left? Is there any coffee left? Yes, so it's a general question. So this is when you use some or any. Remember, it should be plural nouns, countable or uncountable. In this case, singular. Only countable nouns, we use a and an. Now, when do we use the? We use it for uncountable nouns and for specific reference. I like milk. This is when you notice it's uncountable. The article can be dropped entirely. Just say, I like milk. No need for an article here. Okay. Now we're going to look at uppercase or capital letters, what we call capital letters. Let's look at the words that start with a capital letter. And when do they start with a capital letter? At the beginning of a sentence. Proper nouns, they start with capital letters. Names of places, Tashkent. Name of brands, like Pepsi. Then for a person's title, the preceding that precedes the name, Dr. Ferouz, capital D, Mrs. Nadia, capital M. Now, all the words, when we are stating the title of a book, an article, or a presentation, then every word in the quotation, in the title, starts with a capital letter. Now, excluding the short prepositions and conjunctions. As you can see, in does not have a capital letter and a is not a capital letter. Also for acronyms and initials, this is an acronym, ASAP. They are all capital letters. And the names of initials, BMW, for example. I, when I'm always talking about myself, the I is always capital. And then the names of the days of the week, Monday, M, capital M, they always start with a capital letter. The names of the month, they always start with a capital letter. And the names of holidays, because they are considered like proper nouns. For example, President's Day. Now, I would like to remind you, remember, do not capitalize the first letter of the names of seasons, like summer, fall, autumn, winter, spring. You do not capitalize the first letter. And also after a colon, we don't start with a capital letter, and semicolon, the same thing. Remember, the colon is used to introduce a list of things. It introduces a listing of items or a catalog of objects. Notice after the colon, we don't have a capital letter. Same with the semicolon. It connects two independent clauses. There is no conjunction used with the semicolon. So after the semicolon, we do not use a capital letter. Let's look at the next one. Let's go ahead and do an exercise here. This is a paragraph. Again, please get your paper and pencil ready. And I will recommend that you pause or stop your video so you can look at it, take your own time, and then when you're done, go ahead and restart. There are many errors in this paragraph, so go ahead and try to find them. You may pause your video now. Let's look at the corrections of the errors. I hope you found all these errors. Webster, it's a capital W, since it's the name of a person, stated that the use is not an use. And then here there was a the, we omitted, it's not needed. The use of they in place of he is not capital, or she, again, not capital letter, recognizes people who did not conform to an expected gender expression. The article, capital T, added that it was hard, no need for a capital H here, to find the right pronouns. It points out that the word they has been used as a, there was no a, as a singular pronoun since the late 1300, because here we have specific time, so we need the, because it is specific. William Shakespeare, capital S, used it in this way in the early 17th century. There was a the omitted in 1898 in his play, no need for a capital P, Antony and Cleopatra. The playwright, small p, George Bernard, capital B is the name, his middle name, referred to man as they. If you notice, man is singular, so he referred to man as they. So they're saying now here that you can use they. They're still deciding on it, Merriam-Webster. They can use they, the pronoun they, whether it's a he or a she. So instead of saying he or she, you can say they. I hope you enjoyed working on this assignment, on this exercise, and that you caught all the errors in it. So until then, well, you have done a great job, and I hope you had some fun learning. Again, I'm Dr. Bahia Diefenbach. I'm an English language specialist with the English language programs working at the Uzbekistan Scientific Practical Innovation Center. And I would like to thank you for being here. And remember, 9/10 of education is encouragement. I didn't say it. It's said by Anatole France. Rahmat, thank you, and see you next time. Spasiba. Bye-bye.